Hi up the Octave. My name is Scarlett. I am the owner and designer of DiscoDisiac. I currently live in New York City. DiscoDisiac is a men and women's ravewear brand that makes all things sexy women's wear to comfy men's wear, accessories, hats, and jewelry.
Thank you, Scarlett, so much for joining us today. Tell us a little bit about DiscoDisiac. What inspired you to start your business and start creating ravewear?
I started going to festivals when I was 18, and my favorite part about festivals was the fact that you can wear whatever you want, and you can dress as like slutty as you want, you can show skin, you can basically wear whatever you want and no one judges you. I love like dance floor fashion and just being able to wear whatever you want. And that's why I started DiscoDisiac.
Yeah. Was there any gaps that you saw in like design wear at the time that you felt like, oh my gosh, like this is what's missing?
Yeah. So I felt like a lot of like the festival rave wear were like very like you could only wear it to like a rave. And I wanted to make a brand that you could wear like other places besides just festivals.
Yeah.
Like you could wear the club, you could wear with jeans, kind of just like versatile festival wear, but also like very unique and special.
Yeah, I really appreciate that because you're right. There is a specific type. There's like a difference. There's festival wear, which like you go ahead and it's almost like lingerie and it's fun and it's colorful. And then there's like times where you're going to a concert where it's EDM, but you're not necessarily wanting to have the full festival gear on.
Exactly,
So yeah, I think that's a really awesome idea. At what age did you start falling in love with music and going to concerts and festivals?
So I started raving when I was 13. Actually, I grew up in Utah.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, it was kind of crazy. I grew up in Utah, which surprisingly had like a crazy rave scene. So when I was 13, started going to raves, would like go to the lingerie store and get like corsets and like literally 13 years old, like looking just so slutty, like whatever. My first rave was Skrillex that I saw at this like abandoned warehouse.
No way. What an iconic first concert.
Literally at 13, it was like, I was like, I can't believe my parents like don't know I'm here right now. This is ridiculous. So I just like fell in love with dance, like just being on the dance floor and like I said, wearing outfits that like no one's judging you in, being able to like fully express yourself and also just like love dance music in general and like just how it makes you feel.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I remember having to wear like to my first concert, I think I was 14 or 13. I was also really young. And my parents didn't know what I was going to. So they're like, sure, you can go as long as we drop you off and pick you up. Yeah. And I was wearing like what I was actually going to wear inside the festival underneath like a big t-shirt. So my parents wouldn't like yell at me and make me change. Have you seen Skrillex recently?
Yeah, I saw him at Lightning in a Bottle last year.
Yeah, so
and it was awesome. He's awesome.
What was the difference between the first time that you saw him when you were 13 to like so recently? Because he just started performing again.
Yeah. I'd say the first time, like that song, like Cinema, like, I don't know the way that pops up, but then his like most recent set, he played like more like normal music. But when I first saw him, it was very ravey, like trancey, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Iconic Skrillex.
I saw him at Lollapalooza last year and he like threw it back to like his old stuff, which was like, thank God, because I was like, I want to hear like old school Skrillex.
Yes.
I'm like dying to know what's the story behind DiscoDisiac, behind the name DiscoDisiac.
Okay, so the concept is like disco is my aphrodisiac. When I say disco, I don't mean like disco music necessarily, but just like the aesthetic of like a disco ball and kind of like what a disco ball means, which to me is like the dance music culture, the dance floor. And I feel like an aphrodisiac means like something that's like stimulating and like sexy. And I just feel like dance music in general is that. Yeah. And so that's kind of the concept behind the name. Yeah.
Oh my God, so creative. So you created this back in 2018, so 7 years ago.
Yes.
Can you walk us through the timeline of how DiscoDisiac started and to what it is known as today?
The first thing I ever made was those like captain hats, like the Burning Man.
With the goggles?
Yes, like those like hats with the crazy like jewels on them and all that. That was like my first ever thing that I made. And then from there it evolved into like bucket hats. That was like the second product I ever made was like bucket hats. And then that evolved into like these kind of hats, like fishermen. So in the first like 2 years, I would say it was all hats.
Yeah.
That's like all I made. And then I started adding in jewelry, kind of like harnesses. And then that evolved into like more of the clothing that you see now. And now I feel like it's just completely changed from what it was like 7 years ago. The aesthetic has stayed the same, but the products have evolved like naturally.
Yeah. So you had like an ongoing theme, but you've just added more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, started small and now we have like so many different products.
And is it just you that's behind DiscoDisiac, or do you have anybody else that helps you?
So I own it. I do have 2 employees. I have a girl that makes like all the hats and jewelry. She kind of just like makes everything. And then I have a woman that like sews all the clothes. So everything's
so cool.
like made in California. Everything's local. But as far as like running the brand, it's just me right now, which
wow, one woman show.
I know. I'm trying to change that though. I need help.
You mentioned that you launched your clothing line, but then you also recently launched menswear.
Yes.
Can you share a little bit more information about that and what inspired you to go into that?
I just felt like there is such a gap in the market for men's rave wear. Like I feel like everyone's so like women focused, and I vend a lot of festivals, as you know. And I always felt like the men would come in with their girlfriends and be like, "Hey, do you have anything for me?" And I'd always say like, "No, sorry." And so that kind of was like, I feel like I need to start making stuff for guys that's like not super ravey. And like I said, just stuff that you can wear more than just at a rave for guys.
It's super cute though. So if you're a guy and you're in need of rave wear and you have some upcoming concerts, check it out. It's so fun. And I feel like it's also, like you said, what you said for women, that you could, it's not just for festivals. Like you could go out and wear it to like dinner.
Exactly. It's versatile.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you ever seen any of your designs out in the wilds, and what's your like usual reaction when you do?
So I just went to Lightning in a Bottle 2 months ago, and I saw so many people wearing my stuff. Like
that's so exciting.
It's really cool. It's like, especially when you don't know them, and I'll usually like go up to them and be like, "Hey, like I made your hat, I made your outfit," and like always introduce myself, because it's so special and so cool. It's an amazing feeling.
You're literally seeing someone wear your art on them, and like, especially for, I feel like so much thought goes into picking out your outfit for a festival or a concert. Like, we don't take it lightly.
Exactly.
So yeah, I can only imagine what that feeling is, to see somebody else wearing like something that you put your heart and soul into.
Yeah, we'll never get old.
Where do you see DiscoDisiac going in the next few years?
I would like to get to a point where I have like a whole team. I want to hire designers that kind of like understand my aesthetic and are able to like design new collections for me, kind of like with my, almost like my creative brain. I want to constantly be putting out new collections. There's not much I want to change, to be honest. Like I love the way things are, and I love what I do. I just need more help, I think, and I want to grow it to like a bigger audience.
How old were you when you started DiscoDisiac?
So I'm 28 now, so I was around 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
And before that, were you designing any like of your clothes before, or just doing anything similar?
So no, but I would always like make kind of like my outfits, like was always like very creative with like my outfits and kind of putting my own spin on things, like cutting shirts. I didn't go to school for design.
Okay.
I still don't really know how to design.
Okay.
But I've made it work. But I definitely would like to learn like more on how to like technically design clothes.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. With the clothes that I've released, I've designed all of them, like made the patterns. And that's been a very difficult process.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've basically done everything on my own, but I would, like I said, love to hire someone to help, like, just make it a little bit more like technical.
So now I would love to learn a little bit more about like your music, because you're also a DJ and a producer. So I'm curious, like, what age did you begin making music?
So I started, I was 22. I moved in with my boyfriend, and he lived with 6 other guys. They were all producers. They all went to school for production. So I lived in a house with me and like 6 producers, and that's like all they would do full time.
Yeah, she almost lived in like what was the house, the TikTok house
Yeah,
called?
Literally, I was thinking about that.
You were like in a creator house, but with like a bunch of DJs.
Exactly. So that was really inspiring. they would have me do like vocals, kind of like got to learn like visually how production works. And then eventually they taught me how to DJ. And we had like a really nice like decks in our house and would like throw parties regularly. So I got to like DJ and practice. I kind of just like naturally happened, and yeah, I really enjoy it.
You recently moved to New York City. How has that transition been? Because you were originally in California, and then you told me earlier that you're originally from Utah. How did you go about like thinking to even like come here, and what has that lifestyle been like?
I lived in California for 10 years. Kind of just like love it, but like didn't really feel like it was where I belonged. Like I always kind of felt like an outcast in a way, that I was almost like doing fashion, and I felt like people weren't like very like fashionable, and like it's very like chill, and I'm not.
It's very laid back beach lifestyle.
And that's like not me. I need like fiery energy around me. So I decided to move to New York. There was no like specific like job like reason that I would move here. So I just literally packed up all my stuff and moved to New York 5 months ago, and it's been the best decision I've ever made. I feel so at home here. I feel like I belong here. It's been an awesome transition, and it's been very easy for me to like find my friends and like dial into the music industry. There's such an amazing music scene in New York, as you know. Yeah, it's been really easy and awesome.
How did you go about like finding a community out here? Because I do feel like while New York City has a big music community out here and a lot of people that love that like type of vibe, people have their rave families and they stay pretty tight with them. So how did you go about like finding more people that are like into the scene?
So I knew like one girl here, and she is in this collective called Raw Cuts. Have you heard of them?
I haven't heard of them.
It's kind of like a boiler room where they like film the DJ and then they like post it on YouTube or whatever.
Oh, that's so cool.
So she works for them, and she like brought me to a couple of their events, and it's kind of like a group of like 30 people, and everyone's just so nice and friendly. And that's also what I love about New York, is I just feel like everyone is so friendly and like want to get to know you and want to be friends.
We get such a bad rep for being mean New Yorkers, but it's not true.
It's so not true. This is like, my roommate just moved to New York 3 days ago. I took him out for the first time last night. The first thing he said was like, I cannot believe how like nice everyone is. I can't believe how like easy it is to meet people. Like, this is not what I was expecting. And it's so true. And so it was very easy for me to find a community just by going to events. It's been easy, and I don't know, I'm really grateful.
Yeah. Oh, that's so awesome. So now it's time for some rapid fire questions. If you could pick any artist to do a back-to-back with, who would you pick?
Adam 10.
Ooh.
He's my favorite artist right now.
Wook Sun or Guestless Daughter?
Guestless Daughter.
You know, I've asked that before, and that seems to be the most popular answer. I still have yet to get Wook Sun.
I know,
What's your favorite concert or festival you've been to?
Lightning in a Bottle, 100%.
Okay. Do you have any crazy customer experience stories?
I would say there's just been some really rude people just expecting you to like have it like perfect, and I'm like, girl, I'm literally doing this all by myself. Like, give me a break.
That's all we have for today. Scarlett, thank you so much for having us and for doing this interview. Can you let us know where our followers can find you?
Yes, my Instagram is DiscoDisiac. My personal Instagram is @Scarlett Scoggan. DiscoDisiac's my like artist name. I have like 3 songs out on Spotify.
Okay. Yeah, awesome. Well, that's all we have for today.